why I jumped at capital growth first is because that's your portfolio growth is really important to draw equity out in future stages to help you make those deposits for future purchases. So you're not constantly putting your own cash into it. And for the cash flow perspective, it's the capital growth. If you're making $100 a week, which is a really strong cash flow property at this stage,
residential,
that's $5,000 a year. Roughly. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good, hey. Especially in this market that we're in now.
Yeah, that's like from an asset that actually is going to grow in value as well with that cash flow, which is important. You should never buy for just cash flow.
Yeah. I like where you're going with this example here because it emphasizes like my point on growth.
Yeah, so $5,000 in cash flow, well done. However, if your asset from even a standard $500,000 purchase, if that goes at 5%, that's $25,000. That's 5x your cash flow component, right? Mm-hmm. And the Australian average growth rate sits at 6 to 8, 6 to 7, 6 to 8%. In the growth markets that we're buying in, obviously it outperforms that, but conservatively,
it's being very conservative, like 6% or 6 to 7.
I said 5%, right?
Yeah, you're super conservative, which we like.
It's a value and mindset.
Yeah. It's good though because you under promise and over deliver.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Or I'm too much of a hard ass and I only want the best properties.
So. You are a hard ass, but that's why I like to.
see good value and it gets you excited. We actually went. There was an auction yesterday, and there was this beachfront apartment up at Sunshine Coast. And, I said $1,075,000 would be what it goes for, and it went from $1,135,000. So,
oh wow,
yeah, missed out on that one, but still, it was pretty close.
They paid 75 to 35, yeah. So they paid an extra $70,000 basically.
Let's see the figures on that. 65,000, which is good. But from a percentage basis, that's kind of bang on where I want to be. I think it wasn't overpaying by any means, but
when you think about that, and we talked about this in the previous episode, if you buy a property with it's going to go in value and you're a bit emotional about it, some people are happy to overpay, right? So they've overpaid by say $60,000, and if you look at the capital growth of that property, so what was it? It was $1 million and what? It was
$1,135,000 is what it sold for.
Yeah. Okay. And then what sort of growth rate would you say is on that?
Oh, it's close to the beach, so I reckon you easy 8%. So compounding per annum on a 10-year basis.
So after a year, the value of the property is going to go up $90,000. So that's on average, based on an 8% growth rate. So that means they paid, 60 extra grand. So they paid an extra in time in market, an extra 7 or 8 months. So what the property would be worth. So it's actually not too. Is that a fair way to think about it? Do you ever think about it that way? That's just how my head goes into if I'm just going to overpay the market a little bit just to secure it. How many what sort of growth am I stealing from myself by overpaying a little bit of the market? Is it 10 months growth or 7 months growth or something?
Well, even the market base, that was an auction, so it was live, and there was multiple bidders that bidded up to that $1,135,000. So that is the true reflection of market value, because you've got a number of other parties who are actually willing to pay. I think there was 3 parties involved over $1.1 million and ended up running to that $1,035,000. So that's the definition of market value.
So technically, I'm not stealing future growth for myself because I'm paying market value.
No, it just means that I was conservative with $1,075,000, and I need to get my act together and put a bit more money on the table.
Yeah.
But I just used comparable evidence. There was multiple different factors, searching different coastlines, and for those niche assets, which was a block back from the beach, northeast facing, top floor apartment, no lift, very very scarce, but highly desirable, and also undesirable in that no one wants to walk 4 flights of stairs. Mm-hmm. But it's developers love that kind of stuff too. So
how many bedrooms?
3 bed, 2 bath.
Really, 3 bed, 2 bath on the beach, sunny coast, and it's only $1,100.
Yeah,
1.1. That's awesome, hey?
Yeah, it was. Now I'm reflecting. I'm like, probably should have put a bit more on.
Let's not tell people how good Queensland is, because we're just going to get way more people moving up here.
It is great. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Capital Growth.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
So